hit it and flip it, we did it off the 9. Stay in the kitchen, I'm never off of mine. And now I'm Kemp in his prime.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Barber's Chair Network. If you're watching this video, you can shout out the Dante Silver.
We back. You feel me? We back.
Dante Silver for the intro video. You know, a lot of y'all was tweeting us. Well, where's the fuck is the '96 Kemp song, man? We want to hear that on the intro. Y'all, it was like 3 or 4 of y'all tweeted. It is back. Just to let y'all know, the holder was my lazy ass brother, who was abandoned y'all. By the way. This nigga was supposed to make the video literally, when I tell you literally back in like October, when I tell you we was at who was the Bears playing? I think it was like, actually it was November. It was a Bears-Lions game. And I told him we had like 2.5 hours before game time. I'm like, nigga, you got time to do that shit now. You got your hard drive with you, nigga. I'm grading papers and shit. And every week he kept saying he did this. I'm like, man, let me hit Dante up because y'all asking for the song. And, that is one of Pavy's best hooks, in my opinion. So I was like, let's give the people what they want as far as that. So,
bro, I ain't gonna lie. That and no seatbelts, like, them two, like, them no ones right there.
And this is a cheap plug. We've got some better music coming very, very soon. I just sent out the singles today. Some new Pavy music is on the horizon, people. So look out for that. But we are here, Ball Don't Lie, episode 175. Can't believe we're about 25 away from episode 200. There will be some changes to this podcast next season. We're not going to make any announcements yet, but some shakeups going not only here on Barber's Chair Network, not on Ball Don't Lie, but on Barber's Chair Network in general. Shout out to everybody who has been part of the talent search. We are not done, so y'all can keep sending, DM at Barber's Chair Net so you can figure out, how to submit yourself. But I will say, we're not done, but we're narrowing down our choices right now. We got a couple people who I've actually hit up already. We're very close to making Rockefeller announcements, but Barber's Chair will be changing. Ball Don't Lie will be changing. We got a lot of dope shit going on with the network in general. We've got an event coming up this month. We will be announcing that soon. So if you are in the Chicagoland area, be looking forward to the news we're going to be dropping soon, man. But it's your boy Scott. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barbchair Scott. To follow Dante at OctoberZone on Twitter and Instagram, man. Follow the Barber's Chair Network at Barber's Chair Net. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barber's Chair Network, man. Visit the bcnet.com. We're here, man. We are the last week of the NBA season. Seeds are being put together. The playoffs are so close you can damn near smell them. It's officially 12 days away from the postseason. I'm excited. I feel like this week in the NBA has got like a little bit of a week 18 in the NFL kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody, especially in the Western Conference, trying to figure out what seeding is going to be. So this is going to go down exactly to the wire. We will be predicting seeds 5 through 8 later on in this show because the Clippers, the Warriors, the Lakers, and the Pelicans are all tied in the loss column as of Monday, April 3rd, 2023. So there's going to be a lot of shit's going to be going on this week. So we're going to
some furniture moving.
Gonna be some furniture moving in the Western Conference, so I'm looking forward to see how that's gonna work out. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things going on today. So let's kick it off with some late news that came in on like the night of I think it was the morning of the first. Actually, I think I just had to double check. I thought this was fucking April Fool's thing, but the new CBA is in. The league and the owners and the Players Association have agreed on a new deal. I was actually surprised that the new deal got done so quickly. I thought we were 100% headed for a long lockout. But once you look at these actual details and see the players got fucked, it's no coincidence that this got done right away, man. We like I said, we have the whole thing. We're going to break down the most important points of this CBA because a lot of mumbo jumbo in here. And there's a lot of things.
It's a lot of you niggas who be like Lamar need an agent. It's a lot of lingo like that you gotta really take time to break down. But we're gonna, like I said, get to the main points. One of them that's really big is that here's the first one. The NBA is curbing the ability of the highest spending teams, such as the Golden State Warriors and the LA Clippers, to continue running up salary and luxury tax spending while still maintaining mechanisms to add talent to the roster. So now there's a secondary salary cap apron, $17.5 million over the tax, and those teams will lose several key building mechanisms, including the taxpayer mid-level exception, utilizing cash and trades, moving first-round picks in drafts that are 7 years away, signing free agent players in the buyout market, and taking on more money that's being sent out in trades. So that's one of the first big ones, because they said the reason they did it, they said over the last few years, it's been the average of the same three teams that's spending the most money. So they want to cut that shit out.
Yeah, and give like smaller market teams more of a chance. And I think that's really going to help out a team like Cleveland, who is trying to play Evan Mobley as well as Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland.
Yeah, and I guess they gave examples of some players, like prime example, like Golden State wouldn't have been able to sign White Dante. That would have they would have locked that down. Brooklyn wouldn't have been able to sign Patty Mills. Boston when they signed Gallinari, even though he's out. But those type of players, they wouldn't have been able to sign them because it would have took them into that secondary threshold that they add now. So like you said, it's trying to give these other teams the opportunity, to spend more money and not just letting the fat cats who, we as sports fans love. If you got to spend it, and a lot of them have it, but they trying to cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and one that I really like in here, first thing that, stood out to me was a new 65 game rule. So for those of you who don't know, basically players have to play at least 65 games to be eligible to qualify to win any of the awards. Individual awards, and this includes the all NBA teams, which of course we know impacts contracts a lot.
And that's what I was about to say. That's huge, because now I wonder how are these agents going to negotiate that in these deals? Because now you see large chunks of people's contracts being tied to all NBA. And now when you're saying, oh, well, you got to play 65 games, even though they do say that 65 games has stipulations, which I'm sure will have to do with injury and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a little red in there, but
yeah, it's a caveat in there somewhere. But that mandatory 65 games played, that's gonna affect a lot of people's bread. Like we saw, I think Ja Morant lost a lot of money when he got suspended.
Yeah, he lost like $40 million.
Yeah, so
and I don't care how much damn money you got, lose $40 million, nigga.
Yeah, $40 million is $40 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's ugly, G. And now I know most of y'all hate this, but we will have an in-season tournament at some point.
Well, before we get to that, I just want to say one more thing about this, because I do hate the in-season tournament. But with this particular thing, like if it started right now, Giannis would not be eligible to be MVP. He wouldn't be eligible to be nominated for MVP because he's only played 50-something games, and they only got like 3 or 4 games left this week. Also the things to me as somebody who was staunchly against load management, I personally love this. I love it because we're, like I said, we're blessed to go to games. Like going to games isn't an issue for us, but I'm looking at it as not just for the fans who aren't so blessed to go to all these games, or for the kids who get so excited to go to the game, and LeBron might be out, or Kawhi might be out, or Kyrie, or whoever the fuck. It's just for them days where you really looking forward to a matchup and niggas sit. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you start talking about the players' money and having a chance to get these accolades, I think that's going to help out tremendously. Of course, like you said, I'm pretty sure injuries and things like that will play a part. But if you were injured any damn way, you probably weren't going to be nominated for any of these awards to fucking begin with if you missed any significant fucking time. Like when people got mad that LeBron wasn't the first team last year. Like, LeBron missed a lot of time. LeBron's missed a lot of time since he's been a Laker, period. So I feel like this was something right here that was kind of like, I was shocked that it got agreed upon, because I feel like this would be something the players wouldn't be fucking with.
Yeah. But I mean, the owners gave certain caveats, and even though these caveats that they gave only really affect the really, really stars, those big players, they're going to see a large jump in their checks. And what I mean by that is they agreed to increase the upper limits on extensions. From now, if you have the bird rights to a player, instead of giving them 120% increase in salary, you can give them 140% increase in salary. So like under the current rules, Brown will be allowed to sign a 4-year 165 extension. But now the new rules, he'll be able to sign a 4-year $189 million deal. So that's a big difference in salary.
That's a big difference.
That's a major difference. And so that's one thing they do. They also oh wow. The league agreed to eliminate restrictions that limited the team to 2 designated supermax contracts on the roster.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, that's the thing that helped Cleveland out and things like that. And it's to me, I like these rules. Now, before we get to the in-season tournament, I want a full breakdown of this because I'm kind of confused about that. We all know what all this shit was agreed upon. When I read this shit later on, they're not testing for weed anymore. I feel like that was a big kicker in these negotiations.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a big kicker because they kind of had laid back on it anyway.
Yeah, but laid back and not doing it, 2 different things.
Taking it fully off, I think that was very very important. I mean, you would think about it. Like, you got teams who play in cities in the states where, so you can't really have that double standard there. So I get why they did it.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't smoke weed, but I never felt like that should be something where it's going to. Something that should be outlawed or some shit like that. Like you said, if we're going against actual rules and laws in the country, I don't know why a fucking sports league isn't following them shits too. So, but I do feel like that was one of the things. They're like, yeah, we'll agree to the rest of this shit. If I can still smoke, you know what I'm saying, do my thing, I'll switch it out for this, play a couple more games.
Yeah, and I mean, like the game limits are not that excessive. Like 65 games, just an 82 game season.
Oh yeah, so but niggas be missing a lot of games, bro.
Yeah, but you still got leeway to miss games. Like you can still damn near miss. You can still damn near miss 20 games. You can miss 17 games. You feel me? And it not really be an issue. And so, I think that that was a small giveaway from the players when you look at everything they got back. You know what I'm saying? And now, especially because they said for the first time since the inception of the modern CBA in 1983, the team and league licensing revenue, that's worth $160 million last year. Said they're gonna add that into the BRI, the basketball related income. People always talk about their split, and that's how the players are able to get so much more. And so they're gonna add up, that much, $160 million, which will probably increase annually to that pot. That's good money for the players.
It's good money.
So they got a lot. They got a lot.
They got a lot. I'm looking at it from my perspective more than anything. I want to see niggas play. Like that's really what it is. And yeah, 65 is still. I mean, that's only 72 games. Like not 72, 17 game difference. Like so, yes, you can still miss games. But if you look at some of the amount of games these niggas been missing, like it's been more than that. Like it's been more than that.
I mean, it depends on the player. Like, prime example, my thing, like the one person I don't really get on with low management is Kawhi because his knee is fucked up. Like, he's doing this because he really needs it. It's not because he just wants to sit down. Some of these other dudes who just take
Kawhi is an extreme situation.
Yeah. But he's kind of the one who started it down there in with the Spurs. That's where the whole term low management came from with him and Pop. But other than that, like I do think like the rules they accepted, it's gonna benefit both sides. So like this is one of those things where like I'm glad they did it because at some point you got to see, all right, y'all billionaires, we multimillionaires. This shit is working. Let's not do anything dumb to try to just destroy.
New TV deal is coming soon.
Yeah, let's not destroy any goodwill we got with the fans when you already know Bezos and everybody else is about to line up for these TV streaming rights, and so it's billions of dollars coming away.
I hope everybody is enjoying Inside the NBA because we might be like 1 or 2 more seasons left because of the way that the Warner CEO was talking. Like they don't need basketball. So that's out. Look, man, all good things. Look, I'm not saying that it will end because money talks, and CEOs say a lot of shit to their fucking papers in front of them. But and cherish each one a little bit more. Go ahead. What you gonna say something?
No, I mean I was gonna say whoever buys the game or the league might fuck around by them too. Like,
that would be nice.
It wouldn't be far fetched, but no. But you gotta look at it like Apple with what they're doing with Major League Baseball right now. They have an unlimited amount of money, so they're gonna try to buy more. Bezos is the same way. He's looking to buy things. He didn't put a bid in on the Commander, so he still got a lot of money in the bank, which he already had anyway. But a lot of money. And shit, a lot of ammo in the clip to go do really what he wants to do when it's time to get some of these streaming rights from these leagues. And so even with people didn't talk about this, but the rumors of Adam Silver going to Disney.
Which he shut down the other day. He shut it down pretty hard.
He did? He said that it happened?
Yeah, he shut it down pretty hard.
We're going to see.
Yeah,
people talk a lot of shit. That's Disney.
People do talk a lot of shit. Especially
they got a different bag.
Which Bob Iger, for those who don't, Bob Iger is the chairman and CEO of Disney, who just came back a couple months ago after they fired Bob Chapek because he was fucking shit up. Like, if anybody wants to know why Marvel's been taking a little longer with their releases, is because Bob Iger was like, you niggas are dropping too much shit. We need to like smooth this shit out. His main job is to bring a new successor in. So yeah, Adam Silver could be one of them. I don't know if I want this nigga running Disney, but you know, there's gonna be, like you said, there's a lot of options, and when the mouse wants you to listen, you gonna sit down and at least have that motherfucking meeting. But when it comes to that, like, I'm always interested by these big money deals, like you know, because it's just so much fucking money being thrown around. Like even the WWE UFC deal that came down to like $21 fucking billion. Like this is so much fucking money that niggas just throw out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like WWE was valued at 6.3 million and Vince got it 9.3. Like it's just,
and it's all. The interesting thing is that like a lot of it is hypothetical money. Like it's not.
Yeah.
They aren't liquid in these assets. Like it's just literally it's an asset. They they get these valuations. And people are willing to pay it, and they don't have this money in fucking cash laying around. They have to, like I said, move assets and do shit like that. So it's funny the way they play this damn near like Monopoly game in real life, like right in front of our faces. But it's a crazy thing.
It's a crazy fucking thing, man. But
it's man with that fucking Ricky Ricardo.
Bro, he out here looking like Dick Tracy, bro. I don't know what
I like, nigga. Who is he hiding from? Like Vince, we know that's you. Nigga.
We know it's you, nigga.
What's going on?
And I don't even want to know how much money they made this past weekend with WrestleMania. Like,
oh my god,
SoFi Stadium. This is the crazy shit. They did 83,000 on Saturday and did 92 on Sunday. That's an extra 100,000, bro, in that big ass fucking stadium. Like it's just
10,000, but yeah.
Oh yeah, my math's off. 10,000. Yeah, 10,000. I know somebody gonna laugh about that on Twitter. Fuck y'all. 10,000. 10,000 extra. It's just crazy money right there. But now let's talk about this in-season tournament. One thing that I've been vehemently against, I think a lot of people have been. I think it's stupid. Yeah. Now explain it to me like I'm 5, because I was reading about it and it still didn't make that much sense to me.
Yeah, because I mean they still they haven't ironed out a lot of the details. So it was like they basically saying the event will include pool play baked into the regular season schedule starting in November, with 8 teams advancing to a single elimination tournament in December. The Final Four will be held at a neutral site with Las Vegas prominent in the discussion. So of course that gives them, with all that they knew, gambling sponsorships, gambling partnerships, easy way to make some cash. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see that eventually replace the All-Star game, because there's such a lack of interest in the All-Star game and players really just don't treat it the same. So if you bring in this in-season tournament, which they've said for years will probably have a cash prize involved, for these guys, I think that'll change things. You may keep All-Star weekend, but like the actual All-Star game, you may see that get shifted, for this tournament.
What do you think about it?
I
feel like I'm just gonna go on a fuck Adam Silver rant.
It's one of those situations where like they try to borrow from these international sports like soccer, where they have all these in-season tournaments and things like that, but I feel like you just don't have to set up for it. So I don't like it. I don't see the point of it. Like what do you win? What do you get if you win this in-season tournament? It's just another trophy we made up. Like, is there any implications on your playoff seeding in the real playoffs? Do you get an automatic bid to the real playoffs because you won the in-season tournament? Like what the fuck are we gonna do with this? Or is it just, like I said, another trophy we're gonna give out?
It's stupid as fuck. It's pointless. I don't see the point of it. Like, even like moving them to a neutral site, and then I even seen one was like even the winning team's actually gonna play 83 games. Like, it's pointless, bro. Like, I feel like there's really no way. The only way to make the regular season entertaining is if these goddamn motherfuckers actually play. That's really the only fix is if the superstars play. Like, because that's really the only thing. Like, of course, it's not going to be like the NFL. The NBA and the MLB have long ass seasons where every game's not really important. Like, even with baseball right now, like, you shouldn't even glance at the standings till fucking Memorial Day weekend at the absolute earliest. Like, there's just so much goddamn games. The same thing with basketball. Niggas don't even really try till like fucking Valentine's Day. Like that's really when niggas start giving a fuck. So I feel like he's doing too much. I think most of the ideas that Adam Silver has done has been stupid to me. And I feel like a lot of people are like, well, y'all have nostalgia about David Stern. It's not even that. It's just like some of this shit is just doesn't make any sense. I give him the play-in was a good idea. I enjoyed the play-in, but this just doesn't make any sense to me.
David Stern was great at his job. That's why people talk about David Stern. Like, that's why people talk about David. But no, Adam, like I said, he's just trying to borrow from these different leagues because, I think it adds to that international appeal. And you know what's going to be funny? It's going to be hilarious when Dame Lillard win like 3 of these in-season tournaments and still don't win a ring. And people be talking crazy about that nigga. Like,
and then niggas going to use that as a joke too. Or what you think you made an in-season tournament, nigga? Like,
yeah, it's going to be crazy though.
It's definitely gonna be crazy, man. It's just I don't know. Like, and there's a couple things too that I don't like too. I was talking to somebody about this today. I understand it's a national championship game. I get it. Why the fuck aren't there any NBA games on there? Like, I understand people gonna be watching the national championship, but there might be some people who don't give a fuck and still want to watch the NBA. And it's the same thing with the NFL. Not only they have completely ducked the smoke from the NFL. We know that Thursday night Colts and Jaguars game will destroy a Phoenix Suns Lakers game in the mentions. I mean, in the ratings, just because it's the NFL. But that don't mean you got to run off your fucking block. They don't even book NBA on TNT till after the fucking Thursday night football schedule's over. Like, it's just that shit's pussy to me.
Yes, I think that's part of that new Tubi thing, wanting to maximize ratings so your numbers look as good as possible when you go in there and negotiate for these new deals. But I think, like you said, as a fan, I would schedule games regardless, because I remember, like, even like I said, as a shorty, when like TV deals obviously were more local, you could just switch channels and, like, like I said, the White Sox would be playing, the Bulls would be playing. There'd be different games on at the same time.
Every time, yeah.
And it's not no issue. Maybe not the White Sox and Bulls because they both put on WGN. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it would be.
Well, even at the time they moved where they would be on NBC Sportsnet or CSN Chicago at the time, and you watch these things at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So like it was one of those things. So I think now with like such an emphasis on the numbers and with people streaming games and doing different shit like that, as they try to make a more coordinated effort to make their numbers look good. But it's like, like you said, I still want Sunday NBA game. It was nothing like a Sunday matinee game at the Garden, like,
bro. And we ain't got them in like a month.
Yeah, like we get them hoes on MLK Day. That's about it. Like,
bro, they went like a month for like fire matchups in like end of February, early March. Then the tournament stopped, and they just stopped booking anything that wasn't an NBA TV game. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You should always give your fans options, bro.
Yeah,
but I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. RIP David Stern. But let's move on to our next topic, man. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks.
That was crazy. Like,
what happened?
Nothing. That was crazy.
What happened?
Nigga said beating a dead horse. RIP David Stern.
Wow, I didn't think about that. Hey, whatever. It's Barbershop Network. Y'all know how I get down over here. I'm glad we run a very push the envelope network over here, because I didn't even know what the fuck I said. But
yeah, I caught it, but I was like, he didn't. I don't know. It's no way. It's no fucking way. It's no way.
It didn't even cross my mind. It didn't.
Okay, good.
It was not done intentionally.
That means I'm the fucked up one. Okay.
Yeah,
no
I was like, what the fuck I say? And I was like, okay, that did sound a little wild. But let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks, man. The Dallas Mavericks are a fucking shit show right now. They're currently the 11th seed in the Western Conference. They are a game behind the Oklahoma City Thunder for the 10th and final play-in spot. They have lost 3 in a row. They are 3-7 in their last 10, and they are like 3-11 with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic in the same fucking lineup, man. If you look at their schedule for the rest of the season, they've only got a couple more games coming up this year. They've got, as I'm looking right now, they've got the Miami Heat, No, they already played them. My bad. They got Sacramento Kings, the Chicago Bulls, and the San Antonio Spurs coming up. All three of these are home games. So they're going to need to win those and hope that Oklahoma, which they 100% can lose some fucking games. As I pull up OKC's schedule right here, OKC's last three, they have the Golden State Warriors, the Utah Jazz, and Memphis Grizzlies. Two of those three games are on the road. So there's still a path here for the Dallas Mavericks to make the play in. But I gotta say, it's been definitely a complete fiasco, a complete shame the way this team has been playing. It's a train wreck. Now, neither one of us are one of the people who thought this was going to be like a top 14 just because they got fucking Kyrie Irving. If anything, I felt what they had to give up to get Kyrie really decreased just how made their defense worse. So there was always going to be that, but I always felt like it would be more offense and it'll be harder for other teams to contain. But they just look like a shit show just altogether. What has stood out to you and what has been the number one thing contributing to their free fall?
I mean, I think it's just, the lack of chemistry that we expected those two to have, even though, they've had their fair share of big games, but it seems like when it comes down to when the Mavericks really need to, pull a game out, there isn't that consistency or that, that on like now I want to say that connection. Like prime example, anytime we see two elite stars come together and actually succeed, it's like they're yin and yang. They're able, they sync. There's an instinct.
They look how the Phoenix Suns look with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, even though you can put KD anywhere, and he gonna hoop.
I think that's KD's greatest strength. He's the best plug and pull player in NBA history. Like you can put him in any situation, and he's gonna cook.
I mean, you put a 7-foot jump shooter like anywhere on this earth, and it's gonna be successful. But no, with these guys, it's still gonna take more complementary parts around them, and I think Jason Kidd's gonna have to do a better job of making sure that those pieces around them are utilized in the right moments. Because as dynamic as they are, you still have three other people on the court, and it has to work in unison. Otherwise, you're gonna have the problems that we've seen with the Mavericks. And so, Kyrie said all the right things, like coming out and saying, "Hey, well, this is a long-term thing. It's not a short-term build and X, Y, and Z." But unless you see that change and that difference, it's gonna be short-term because they're gonna have to they're gonna have to do something.
I agree with that. I think the number one issue for this is a couple things. I definitely don't think Kyrie helps because his lack of defense, but that's probably like that's not even like a big complaint because that's just who Kyrie is. I don't think offensively Kyrie has been bad. I'm pointing my finger at two people, mainly Jason Kidd, because you got to do a better job of putting this team together. But I also got to point the finger at Luka. And when you're the superstar, man, you know how this goes. When you win, you get the credit. When they made it to the Western Conference Finals last year, everybody was praising Luka. You can't be out there bitching, complaining to the refs, just going up and down the court like you don't give a fuck. Some of the wild shots. I need to see more from my superstar if I'm the Dallas Mavericks. But I just think it's an overall mess. It's not really just one person. Jason Kidd has got to be better. I don't feel like he's done anything to put this team in the best positions. And also think we're seeing that point in Jason Kidd's coaching arc, I guess. Like Jason Kidd always starts off hot as a head coach.
Every time
he starts off hot. And then but like the second or third year, you start to realize why he's on his third team by now, why he even had to become like an assistant again. Because there's something lacking there. I just really can't put my finger on. And also, I got to put the blame on Mark Cuban. Because none of this should have happened to fucking begin with if they'd have just fucking paid motherfucking Jalen Brunson to fucking begin with. If they paid that nigga to fucking begin with, we'd have been good. As you can see, what New York is doing, the Knicks are where they at damn near, I want to say almost 100% because of Jalen Brunson. It's not to discredit Julius Randle, but Julius Randle was able to do the things that Julius Randle was great at because he has a point guard to make his game easy. When Julius wasn't well last year, it's because he had to do fucking everything. And so he was forcing it. And with last year, remember, they beat the Utah Jazz basically without Luka. Luka missed damn near every game of that series. Jalen Brunson carried him. So they'd have signed him. They wouldn't be in the predicament that they are right now. We're even hear rumors that they might shut down Kyrie and Luka to get a top 10 pick, which is nasty work to me. And I don't know what this is going to do coming to all season because who fucking knows what Kyrie is going to do.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? I think the Laker thing is dead just because the Lakers, when they traded Russell Westbrook, they don't have the money to give him as fully guaranteed. Now, this is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie might be like, fuck it, I'll just go there because I want to play with LeBron again. But what's going to happen here? Something has got to change for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't really think if them making the play-in or not matters, because even if they do make the play-in, they're not going to do fucking shit when they get in there. So to me, it kind of feels like they're at a crossroads right now, and they're going to lose Luka if they don't fucking fix some shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. This is what we've been talking about for years with the Mavericks. It's like Mark Cuban has to get the right squad in there around Luka, otherwise you're going to lose Luka. And I think he's been non-committal in terms of like when people ask him about his future and things like that, and I think rightfully so, because at this point you do realize you're one of the faces of the franchise, not only the franchise, one of the faces of the league, and so the world's gonna be your oyster. So why would I lock in and commit to somewhere unless I've weighed on my options? And so I have no issue with that, but I think, like you said, this is gonna come to a head.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I would love to be the team that takes advantage of this Luka thing, but the Bulls ain't got no goddamn assets anyway, so I don't even know why I'm even setting that pipe dream up to fucking begin with. But let's move on to the West. The rest of the Western Conference, man, as things stand today on Monday the 3rd, because there's no games on today because this is the national championship. Not only is it the national championship, it's a bad national championship. There's nobody wants to watch this shit. I feel like it ain't been no buzz. I ain't seen nobody tweeting about this shit. But as it stands right now, seeds 5 through 8 all are tied in the loss column. They are all separated by a half game, with the Los Angeles Clippers being the 5th seed, the Golden State Warriors being the 6th seed, the Los Angeles Lakers being the 7th seed, and the New Orleans Pelicans are playing the 8th seed. The Pelicans are playing really good. They're 7-3 in their last 10. And Zion will be reevaluated this week to see what his chances are of playing anytime for the rest of the season. So now what I want to do is predict seeds 5 through 8, who we think are going to be there. Now I'm going to roll off the schedule of these 4 teams before we get there. I think let's start with the 5th seed, the Clippers. Their next game is Wednesday at home against the Lakers, which is really not a home game because it's going to be a Laker home game. Then they have Saturday, their last home game against the Portland Trailblazers, obviously without Damian Lillard. And then they close the season on Sunday on the road in Phoenix, which could be a potential first-round series against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. Now, the defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors, they play on Tuesday at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. Then they Friday on the road against the Sacramento Kings, and then they close on the road on Sunday against Portland Trailblazers. This is a team that it don't even matter that they're not going to play that because these niggas lost a double-digit lead to the Denver Nuggets without Jokic, without Jamal Murray last night, which is fucking ridiculous. And now we get to the Lakers. Lakers been on fire. These niggas are 6-0 when LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and D'Angelo Russell are all playing. They have 4 games left. They have a back-to-back coming up on Tuesday. They'll be on the road in Salt Lake against the Jazz. On Wednesday, they'll be against the Clippers. On Friday, they'll be hosting the Phoenix Suns, and then they end the season at home on Sunday again against the Utah Jazz. And our final team, the New Orleans Pelicans, they have 3 of their last 4 at home. They have Sacramento on Tuesday. They've got the Grizzlies on Wednesday. They've got the Knicks on Friday, and then they're on the road in Minnesota on Sunday. So all 4 of these, none of these schedules are cakewalks for any of these teams. So how do you think 5 through 8 is gonna shake up?
Like the way I got it right now, like you said, I'm like the Paul George injury. I hate that because I feel like we talk about the Clippers every year, and we're like, yo, if they could just be right come playoff time, healthy, we would be solid. So I really don't see them holding on to that 5 spot. I just don't see it. Now, as a matter of who goes up, I think the Lakers gonna take that 5 seed. I think when it's all said and done, the Lakers are going to end up with that 5 seed. I do like the Pelicans, but I think the Pelicans, I don't have them getting really higher than 7th, even with Zion coming back. But I think the Warriors are going to hold on to that 6th spot. We just got news about A. Wiggins. He's possibly, on his way back soon. So I think the Clippers might slide to that 8th seed. I'm gonna have Lakers 5. Like I said, Warriors hold on at 6. The Pelicans are gonna slide up to 7. and I got the Clippers as that 8 seed.
That's a big drop. I wouldn't be shocked at any of that. I'm going to say,
I mean, it ain't a big drop. It's half a game.
It's really not. It's not. Yeah, none of these are big drops. I'm just looking for like numbers wise, but none of these are big drops. I'm gonna say the Pelicans stay at 8.
Okay.
I think that I'm not mad at your Lakers number 5, but I have a theory for this for why I think the Lakers don't want number 5, and that's actually gonna go to our next topic. I'm going to, just for my theory, I'm gonna say Lakers is 6. I'm gonna say the Warriors find a way to go up to 5, and then I think the Clippers will be at 7, and then the Clippers will have to play the Pelicans in a play-in game again, like they did last season. And then you're going to have the Warriors at 6. I mean, you're gonna have the Warriors at 5, and you're gonna have the Lakers at 7. Now they will be getting Andrew Wiggins back this week. I don't know if that's gonna make a big difference right away, because I don't even know if this nigga has even been picking up a basketball. We found out he's been out because of his dad is dealing with some sickness. And by the way, shame on you niggas. Not that I have much faith in humanity or expectation for humanity, but all you niggas running with that his wife was cheating on him and that his kids are really his best friends just because some nigga brought up on fucking Facebook. Have some fucking shame, man. Like, this dude was dealing with some shit. And the worst part about it was this is just knows that the misinformation era that we in right now, niggas was running with it.
Hell yeah, no. I believe his teammate repeated it. If memory serves me correctly. Like, didn't they say Draymond repeated it? He mentioned it or talked about it somewhere or something. Some shit happened, but either way, the amount of people that were repeating that bullshit when they, like you said, was far from the truth. It just shows you how far away we've gotten from like people actually doing their due diligence to check shit out. Just because you saw it on TikTok does not mean that it really happened.
Bro, niggas made up a meme and ran with it, bro. Made a meme and ran with it.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong. We saw what happened to Ben Zobrist and everything, but until you get actual
Ben Zobrist, this thing about the Ben Zobrist thing, if TMZ doesn't bring up anything, like even TMZ kind of floated the story a little bit that Ben Zobrist's wife was being was fucking around, even though they get into the specifics, and anybody know the real niggas know the real story, but at least TMZ said, oh well, she was fucking around a little bit. None of this was, if this really happened, TMZ would have been all over that shit. We'd have heard something from anybody on it, man. So they're going to be getting him back. Andrew Wiggins is a very, very, very key part of that Warriors team. Good thing of Andrew Wiggins, he doesn't have to do any heavy lifting. Really, they just miss his defense more than anything. And then also more shot attempts for him. So Jordan Poole's level of dickhead basketball can be brought down a little bit. I think Wiggins going to help them a lot. He has helped since he's been back. And this is no logical explanation for me putting them in 5. This is really just to go into my theory about the Lakers, and just because the Warriors just do Warrior shit for them to end up at 5. But this is the perfect segue into my next topic. The Los Angeles Lakers making a finals run. Now, all of y'all know how I feel about LeBron James, but I have eyes. I live in Los Angeles. I have paid attention to this team very closely. And I think there's a chance. I don't know if there's a chance for them to make the NBA Finals, but there's a chance for them to make the Western Conference Finals. Now, hear me out on this one. I would not be shocked they're the 5th seed, like you said. It would not shock me whatsoever, because the Warriors got like 2 of their Final 4 on the road. We know how they play on the road.
Terrible. 9-30? What was it, like 9-30?
Yeah, they've got less road wins than the fucking Houston Rockets. Yeah. It's absurd. Now, if you're the Lakers, I don't think you want that 5th seed. You do not want to run into Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and the motherfucking Phoenix Suns. Not only because of what Kevin Durant brings to them, they already beat them. They know they can beat the Lakers. And this is kind of feel like a redemption moment for them too, to finally get back to the NBA Finals to make up for what they did last year. You don't want to do that. What you want is the number 6 seed so you can face the fucking Sacramento Kings. And this is no disrespect to the Kings. Kings are a good story. They're fun. Yes. They're energetic. I wouldn't be shocked if they did win the series. I just want to put that out there. But is there any nigga on planet Earth who is not a Sacramento King fan who is picking against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers in that series, they will be licking their fingers to play that series. We even heard Draymond say, "Oh, we want to play the Kings, not because the way you think of, just because travel-wise." Like, that would be something where their youth, to me, would be outshined by a team that is equipped for a playoff series. Now, this is a team where if they get in the play-in, I can see them losing the game just because the play-in, they can do fluky shit like that. But if you give 7 for LeBron James to break you down, I'm taking the Lakers. Then if you win that, 9 times out of 10, you play the Memphis Grizzlies in the second round. You can beat them niggas. They can beat the Grizzlies. And before you know it, bam, you're in the West Conference Finals. That, to me, is my path for the Lakers.
Yeah, no, it's very possible. It's extremely possible, especially with LeBron back. And we know LeBron is going to do, even as he, I ain't going to say coast, but, gets himself back toward, as healthy as he can possibly be. You brought in these extra pieces. And, again, like we got to shout out Pelinka for actually doing what he was supposed to do. And he's brought in some very good pieces. And as a result, we see the Lakers continuing to climb. And that's one thing we said when they first got him. We said, damn, bro, if this team had LeBron, they can actually make a run. And so now they got him back. And, those things are actually looking even more and more likely. And, if Anthony Davis can continue to be the Anthony Davis we see now, and LeBron doesn't have to do all of the heavy lifting, he just comes in and, picks his spots and does what he always done, what he wants to when he needs to. If that can be LeBron's mentality with this Lakers squad, yeah, I'm with you, bro. They can make a very deep run, and I think they can make it all the way to the championship. I don't think that's far-fetched at all.
Yeah, I think to me, it's a real interesting thing. This whole Western Conference playoffs is going to be electric, because when I tell you I have zero idea who's coming out of that conference, I have zero idea. You can sell me on a legit 5 teams to come out the West. You can sell me on Denver. You can sell me on Phoenix. You can sell me on the Clippers if they can get Paul George back in time. You can sell me on the Golden State Warriors. You can sell me on the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know who the fuck is going to come out. The East, it's kind of like, this is, to me, the NBA champion is going to come out of that Boston and Milwaukee series. That is going to be your NBA champion, in my personal opinion. Now, let's talk about the next topic. I want to talk about upsets. So pretty much the Eastern Conference play-in is pretty much set. It's just a matter of what the actual seeds are going to be. Now, I brought this topic up on my show. I'm not going to hold you. Right now, it's the Miami Heat at the 7th seed, the Atlanta Hawks at the 8th seed, the Toronto Raptors at the 9th seed, and the Bulls at the 10th seed. The Bulls just have to win one more game, and they clinch that 10th seed. So right now, it will be Toronto hosting the Bulls and Miami hosting Atlanta. Now, the Bulls are only a game behind Atlanta and Toronto, and they play Atlanta on Tuesday, and it's looking like that Trae Young might not play because he has a non-COVID illness. He's questionable. See how that's going to go. Is there any of these teams that you feel like could make an upset of any of the top 4? If you had to just pick one.
So you just changed it with the 4, but I'm going to say off the strength of, how they've been playing since January, the Bulls. You got Zach LaVine is one of the, the most elite scorers in the league who's, been playing lights out since, he's really gotten healthy and felt like he got that bounce back from his surgery. So with Zach playing the way he's playing, and you got DeMar and Vooch, to chip in, and, DeMar may, have his games where he'll give you 25, 26. That's very possible. So with that being said, combined with the defense they've been playing with Pat Bev there, I think the Bulls could be the ones that, upset a young team like Cleveland, or even, our interior defense is an issue with Embiid, but like a team like Philadelphia, I can see that the Bulls could upset them.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Zach is playing at that level, if DeMar can play at that level, yeah, I can see that. The thing that worries me about the Bulls is the thing that's just not going to get fixed until the offseason, is they run into a math equation. They won the 3-point equation. They don't shoot enough of them, and they don't make enough of them. And so if they were able to get a top, whether they get a 7th or 8th seed, you're going to have to play either Boston or Milwaukee. Now, I think they match up a lot better with Boston than they do with Milwaukee. But just because of the 3-point thing, I can't say that they would do it. And also, DeMar DeRozan got to show up in the playoffs. He has yet to do that in his entire fucking career. Like, we know he had that little game winner in game 1 last year and then played like shit for the rest of the series. I give Zach LaVine a pass because that nigga had no knee last playoffs. So there is that team. There is I don't know if they can beat anybody, but they can scare the shit out of Boston, in my opinion. But if I had to bet anybody, I would say it's Miami. And I know Miami's played like shit. I know Miami has the worst Eastern Conference record out of any of these teams. But you still got a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They were a shot away from being in the NBA Finals. If Jimmy hits that 3, they in the NBA Finals. We know that playoff Jimmy is just a different nigga. You can't explain it. He's a different nigga. They have one of the best coaches of this generation, and Eric Spoelstra. If there's any team that if I had to bet money on making an upset, it would be the Miami Heat. So I'll probably have to roll with them, man. Let's go to the West. Now we're just gonna go as currently constructed. The play-in teams are the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Timberwolves, and the Thunder. Now I think we all said how we felt about the Lakers, so let's take them out of this equation for a minute because we all know how we feel about the Lakers. We just made a path to them made to the finals. There's a team on here. There's 2 teams actually. And really, I'm not counting Oklahoma City because whatever. But if that Zion reevaluation comes back clean,
yeah,
with the way that Brandon Ingram has been playing basketball. Now I don't know, is Jose Alvarado done for the rest of the season? I'm guessing.
I'm not sure. Let's look that up. Yeah, we haven't heard anything around.
Brandon Ingram has been playing out of his fucking mind the last 2 weeks. They can get Zion back. That's a team I would not want to face. That is not a team I would not want to face. I mean, Minnesota is good. I like that Cat has been back, but they need their ass beat for the way they lost to the Blazers this past weekend, and we know how there was something about that playoff series last year. They're supposed to beat the Grizzlies. If anybody remembers that series, that was everybody was like, oh, this is amazing, entertaining series. Both of us was up here like, this is one of the worst basketball playoff series I've ever seen in my life, just because all the low IQ hoops that we're watching. So I would have to say the Pelicans would be the one if they can get Zion back. Because remember, they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference when Zion went down.
He was killing. He was averaging like what? He was averaging damn near 30, wasn't he?
30, yeah.
Yeah, he was going crazy. So no, I agree with that. I can agree with that one. But like you said, taking the Lakers out of it.
Yeah.
As much as I want to say Minnesota, no, I have to agree. It's New Orleans.
And Minnesota just does too much dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And dumb shit that they're a young ass team, but they still doing some of the dumb shit they was doing last year. And another thing, even when I was saying about the Lakers making a run, the Grizzlies, man, they need their ass beat for how the way they let the Bulls come back and win that game the other night. That's just even more proof that I wouldn't be worried about them niggas. If I'm LeBron, I'm like, nigga, we got to get that 6th seed. We can beat Sacramento and we can beat Memphis. And then you just worry about who the fuck you got to play in the conference finals, even if it is like a Denver or, or somebody like that. As long as you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you got a shot. Yeah. You got a shot. So I really feel like they have a legitimate shot, and just how much that has changed in the last, 2 months is crazy. We was talking about these niggas missed the play-in altogether a couple months, man. So let's wrap this episode up. We're going to close this up with our last topic. Coach of the year, man. Coach of the year. A lot of good candidates. But like you just said, easy. I think if it's not Mike Brown, what are we really fucking doing?
If not Mike Brown, then who is it? That's legit. That's the end of the conversation, end of the discussion. Mike fucking Brown. Like, the Sacramento Kings haven't been relevant in an extremely long time.
Almost 20 years. I think
in terms of coach of the year and executive of the year, you have to go with Sacramento. Without a question. Mike Brown, and the GM's name, I don't know off the top of my head, but bro has done his thing. He's done an amazing job.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job. The Sacramento Kings GM is Monty McNair. Okay, he's the general manager for Sacramento Kings. Man, I always say I love Mike Brown, man. First of all, I love any black coaches out here doing their thing. Like I said, Mike Brown is one of the most underappreciated coaches of the last 10 years. I feel like a lot of people, and this is also to the greatness of LeBron, they don't really give him the credit. Like even sometimes I don't think that Phil Jackson, not to compare Mike Brown to the greatest coach of all time, but I don't even think Phil Jackson fully gets the credit that he deserves. Sometimes he would just act like, well, he had Mike, Shaq, Kobe, Scottie Pippen. Like, I truly believe managing egos of that caliber is much harder. Like, and no disrespect to Pop, I love Pop. If you tell me Pop's the GOAT coach in the NBA, I'm not gonna argue with you. But I just take the championships and really the more sustained dominance that his teams had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna argue with you, but yeah,
no, it's an argument. It's an argument. But I just take a team that Pop ain't. I don't, as much as Pop is great as he was.
Yeah, no, I'm saying argument. I'm arguing for Phil. Like,
oh, okay, oh yeah, we on the same team.
Yeah, get Pop out of here. Go sit down. Like, I'm not trying.
Yeah, we on the same team with that one because
absolutely.
You all know Michael Jordan's ego. Y'all know Shaq ego. Y'all know Kobe and shit. Even know Scottie Pippen ego. It's very hard to manage all of that things. Then to come out and then being able to humble himself to work with Kobe a second time and get a couple more championships. Even though they won 2, they went to 3 straight finals. You know what I'm saying? Just look at the amount of finals he's been to. Like, so when it comes to Mike Brown, I don't think he got the credit for just how good he made that Cleveland Cavalier team. And look at how he held it down in 2017 when Steve Kerr was dealing with his back issue. And everybody was questioning, why would you leave a comfortable situation like Golden State? He believed in himself, and he took the Kings not just from a thing. I think everybody who even the highest expectations, highest opinions or predictions for the Kings, you think playing. Nobody saw these niggas being 3 seed competing for the 2nd seed. So I gotta give it to Mike Brown. To me, it should be unanimous that he's a coach of the year. So absolutely, bro. I gotta give that to Mike Brown. That's all we got for y'all today. Next week, we're gonna turn this thing up. We will be previewing the play-in matchups. We'll be previewing the actual playoff series that are set. For those of you who don't know, the play-in starts next Tuesday or on the 10th. I mean, on the 11th next week. So that's going to go on to the 14th, and it'll be the next day will be the start of the NBA playoffs, April 15th, man. So we appreciate everybody for checking us out. You know, to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchat Scott, at Octoberzone Tay. Follow the Barberchat Network on Twitter and IG at BarberchatNet. Visit BCNet.com and subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchat Network. We're going to holler at y'all next week, man.